Hello everyone and welcome to another high elo game of Age of Empires. Today we have an actual true David and Goliath story. Now, why do I say that? Two reasons. First one, if you take a look at the top of your screen and take a look at the players' respective elos, we have Dragonstar playing at 2344 and Faraday at 1874. So this is highly suggestive that the Dragonstar is very much favored to win this match. Number two is the civs that the players spawned randomly. Dragonstar playing Malay, and Faraday playing the Bengalis. Now, why do I say that the civs are the second reason is, let me zoom out, and you can see that this is the islands map. So naval civilizations have a natural bonus in this game. Let's take a look at those civilizations, and you'll quickly realize why I think this is a David and Goliath story. The Malays, not only do they advance to the next age faster, their fishing traps are cheaper, and they actually produce 3 times as much food. Their docks have double the line of sight and can be upgraded to harbors. Now, when you upgrade to harbors, they shoot arrows just like town centers when they're garrisoned. On top of that, they also have cheaper elephants. Their infantry eventually does cost much less gold. And one of my personal favorite units of the game, the Karambit Warrior, takes up half a population space, super cheap and crazy when you mass them. They can cause a lot of damage. Opposing this, on this particular map, is the Bengali civilization. Now, if you open Age of Empires, just the standard game, and you look up the civ charts for the Bengalis, it calls them a naval civilization. Now, I don't know that I necessarily agree with this. Their only real naval perk is that their ships regenerate 15 HP per minute. If you're playing at this kind of level, at 1800 or 2300, my guess is your opponent is not giving you a minute to allow your ships to regenerate unless you run away and they don't pursue. So this is not exactly a naval perk, in my opinion. At this level of play. Their monks are stronger, their elephants do attack faster, and who doesn't like the Rata unit? It's a mixed ranged / melee unit. All of this is to say that if Dragonstar attacks Faraday on land, Faraday has a few options of how to defend his base. On sea, however, I don't see that the Bengalis can really put up much of a defense against the Malay. That being said, as always, micro, macro, always super important. Vision. Now, I'm going to show you, this is pretty cool. They're both building docks. Obviously, it's a water-based map. Take a look at the line of sight for this dock. So I believe it's 5 tiles for the standard dock. 5 here, 5 there, 5 there. Look at this. 10. Look how much further the the Malay dock can see. So you can see trouble coming from a mile away. And if you've watched any of my videos, you know that my whole spiel is the more vision, the better the position the player is in. That being said, none of what I've described right now is any good for Faraday. So he knows he's up against it. Let's see how he plays. Now, you might ask me, Isaac, why would you cast such an obviously unbalanced game? To which I would reply, after laughing, that I love these kinds of games. I myself play these kinds of games all the time, not only in Age of Empires, also in chess, for example. I really do think the only way a person can ever get better at a game, at any kind of contest, is to play against opponents who are stronger than he or she is. And in this case, I mean, the Elos, the civs, the map, all of this points to Dragonstar being in a much stronger opening position than Faraday. So Faraday has everything to gain here, nothing to lose, and that's why I love these kinds of games. This reminds me, I recently was on Reddit, and there was a person on the Age of Empires community that was posting that he was upset because every time he won a game in a ranked match, his elo would only go up 5 to 10 points. And he was wondering why it was going up so little. So, of course, Reddit being Reddit, everyone started piling onto him, saying, well, why don't you try playing people who are not, 300 elo points worse than you? Why don't you try playing somebody better? Because when you play somebody better, your elo won't go up 5 points. It's only when you play somebody much worse, that your elo doesn't go up as much as you think it should. So all of that is to say, I'm looking forward to this game. We'll see if it's a standard just steamroll by Dragonstar over Faraday. We'll see if Faraday can come up with any kind of strategy to take on Dragonstar. All of this is to say, fuck Dodgeball. This is the true underdog story. So let's see how it goes. For now, both players going up to Feudal roughly at the same time, about 12, 13 seconds apart. Not a big deal. And the beauty of this map, and why I try myself to avoid this map, because my micro is not on, to the level of these players, because there's a lot of avenues of attack here. You can go full naval, you can embargo and surround your opponent on the water, you can try to sneak in a land-based army onto your opponent's onto your opponent's land. You can take the base of the islands in the middle. I mean, this is 4,800 gold, not a lot of stone, only 700. The gold, though, 5,000 extra gold doesn't hurt. For now, both players opting to go the dock route. Probably going to see a naval battle in the next couple of minutes, if I'm not mistaken. Building their bases, scouting. Scouting is super important in this map. It might be a bit of a waste of wood, but I always recommend putting up a stable as early as you can, pumping out a couple of scouts, because you don't want to be caught unawares. You don't want this guy, for example, to all of a sudden stumble onto a barracks, an archery range, or a stable, God forbid, a siege workshop, and be caught with your pants down, not knowing what's going on. So map vision, particularly important on amphibious, is that the right word? Amphibious maps, where you can go both naval and you can land units onto your opponent's territory if you can sneak them by. That being said, we have a move out the fire galleys, 3-on-3, 2-on-1. Let's see how this goes. Dragonstar pushing into the Faraday's territory. At the same time, scanning his own base. Same thing. Oh, constant motion. These guys should be in constant motion. They should not be idling at all. Big naval battle. We have a demolition barge here. Did not get anything done. We have a couple more coming in from Dragonstar. Enough to push Red back. We'll see if he manages to get some. Oh, and a villager. Fantastic play. Oh. Not bad for Dragonstar. So right off the bat, taking the win in the naval battles. We have a fire galley being produced, demolition rafts, more fire galleys, more demolition rafts. How many docks do each player have? Does each player have? 3 to 3. So players are fairly evenly matched on the water. And, oh, take a look at the bottom left of your screen. We have a transport ship. Let's see what that's for. I don't see any military buildings, or do I? I see a barracks. I mean, Bengalis don't really have anything at this stage of the game for barracks. Let's see if that's just the prerequisite building for something else. Where are you going? You're going to go pick up a couple of villagers. Okay. So he's looking to invade the west. And maybe try to catch Dragonstar by surprise. We'll see if it works. Making his way. This overlay doesn't show us the direction or, where the players click their units to go, so why don't we just follow along and see where this transport ship goes. At the same time, oh, Dragonstar, I don't know if he saw this, but his cavalry unit's coming south. I don't know if it's on patrol, if it's a custom pathing, or if he actually saw the transport. But let's see if he manages to see it. Is he going to go left? Seems like, oh. Let's see. Does not see it yet. Oh, he sees the waves. Okay, so he sees the transport ship. Oh, no. Oh, wait a second. Why is he turning around? Was he distracted? Oh. Faraday launched a suicide mission here to distract Dragonstar while his transport made landfall. I mean, you and I saw that the scout cavalry did notice the transport, but I don't see a reaction out of Dragon Star. He's not really building anything. He's not giving any kind of indication that he noticed this. So far, for Faraday, this little backstab is actually working. He does not see the 2 archery ranges. Now, archery ranges, I'm not sure this is really the way to go. He's getting an upgrade, but Dragon Star's all the way already up to castle. So whatever units come out of here, archers or skirmishers, they're not going to stand a chance once Dragon Star gets to castle. This may have been a mistake. I mean, great play to do this kind of backstab. He's completely abandoned his water. This should tip Dragon Star off that something is coming. Yeah, immediately puts down upgrades for cavalry. Immediately puts down a barracks. My guess is a stables is gonna be next. Because when your opponent all of a sudden just abandons his water position and you're scouting the sides of his bases and you're coming across one dock in a market, I mean, you know that something's up. You know something's up. These 2 fire galleys in the middle of nowhere are not being microed at all. There's the stables. So this is basically, he doesn't know it yet, but he's dead. Faraday this is GG. Let's see what comes out of here. A knight. 2 knights. Yeah. He doesn't even need 2 knights. The 1 knight's enough. So he sees this tower not really zoning much of anything. There's so many resources, so many wood piles, so many forests. Gold over here, more stone. I mean, maybe build a second tower here to protect, and then he has no stone, but what do you do? What do you do against a 100 HP knight with 3 pierce against your units that shoot at a 5? You're basically doing 2 damage with every volley. You don't even need 2 knights. I mean, this knight's going to take care of this. I'm not surprised if Faraday GG's the second he sees this second knight. Yeah. I mean, take a look at his resources at the top right. He's fairly close to castle. So 2 questions for you, Faraday. Number 1, why did you go archery range? And number 2, why didn't you wait? If you were a couple of minutes away from being on the same, like, castle age as Dragon Star. Great play by Dragon Star. Interesting play by Faraday. I can see what he was trying to do. The underdog, he knew he didn't stand a chance on water. He distracted Dragon Star long enough to sneak a transport by. And unfortunately for him, I don't think archery ranges were the way to go. Or if they were, at least back them up with a barracks of your own. Maybe build some pike just in case, you know, Dragon Star comes out with knights, which is exactly what he did. So overall, he made an effort. Like I said in the beginning, this was a true underdog story. Water was given up fairly quickly. And the civs against him, the Elos against him, and he made a good play. Just, I think maybe the mistake was not backing up these archers and not going up to castle, or not waiting at least to go up to castle before revealing the archers. Let me know what you think. If you like the video, feel free to comment, like, and of course subscribe. And the subscribe button will be on the next end screen with a couple of additional videos that you might be interested in. So everyone take care, and I'll see you in the next one.